Hey guys, welcome. It is July 30th, and on today's podcast, I'll be going over a Neon Revolt article entitled Isaac Kappy Blowing the Lid Off of Hollywood. If you're unfamiliar with Neon Revolt, I suggest checking out neonrevolt.com, as he is one of the main leaders in this Q phenomenon in the decodings of it, and he's a very smart, very knowledgeable person. So please go to neonrevolt.com. I am sending all foot traffic his way. And without further ado, let's get into this on tonight's True Reporting. Hey guys, what's up? It's about 7:15 on the East Coast, and I got a great Neon Revolt article in front of me, his blog. It's entitled Isaac Kappy Blows the Whistle on the Party Monsters, Hollyweird, Great Awakening, Pizzagate, Pedogate, no more. Real quick, I know I've been promising for a long time about this merch. I am caught between a rock and a hard place with that, because I'm trying to get my money. I have a lot of money, over $2,000 on Google's end, and I'm trying to get in touch with them to send that money into my direct deposit to my bank. My bank's trying to get in touch with them, and it's just a headache. So don't think that I've forgotten about my Patreon members and all my subscribers on YouTube. I just don't want you to think that you're going unnoticed. I'm just dealing with this right now. But I know Q's posting. He's been posting this evening. A lot going on right now, and trying to catch up with everything. And I think right now this whole Isaac Kappy, this gentleman right here, is the most important as of right now. That's just my personal opinion. But the things that he's saying, the things that he's claiming, especially what Neon Revolt goes over, I've read this earlier today when I was at work, and I thought I'd share it with you. So let's go ahead and go into it. I find this to be very important and very shocking too, because it's just more truth, right? It's just more eyes on this. So we need to spread this video. Go ahead and give it a like, give it a thumbs up, so we can get that algorithm out there, so we can spread further. And I may put out a short podcast after this, so that we can talk about the Q posts that are going on right now. So anyways, enough jabbering from me. Let's go ahead and hop into this. This is True Reporting. So on July 27th, that was 3 days ago, to follow up on my whistleblower article, let's look at an actual whistleblower who has been talking for the past few days. For those who missed it, Isaac Kappy is an actor who is blowing the whistle on Hollyweird, just out in the open, like some kind of madman. The reason he's saying madman is because these people die. We know of the whole red scarf and, being hung on doorknobs. This guy is putting his face out there. He's not getting paid. I believe Corey Feldman was being paid to, do a movie, do a book, get this out there. I'm not taking credit away from Corey Feldman, but there's ways to go about this. I'll just leave it at that. So he says, after that, he started dropping on Twitter, but decided that it was time to move to 8chan because Twitter was censoring him, limiting his reach, etc., the usual cuckery. So right here, he posed, hey Isaac, post here on 8chan. This is on to his Twitter. I am thinking about moving all my communications there. Half-chan and Twitter are a bit of a nightmare at the moment. I am on 4chan right now, but stay tuned for updates. So this guy is well aware of Q. I think I watched an interview with him that not an interview, but a Periscope, where he said that he's been going over this. He's known about Q since the beginning. He's been following it, which is pretty cool. So he says, and thus Honeycomb, that will be his name on his anon name on 8chan, was born and his drop started. Now, these aren't very cryptic, which is good because it means there's not much decoding required. In fact, I'm kind of shocked at how straightforward he's being. But maybe that will be the key to his success, going so public, so wide, that no one can touch him because everyone will be watching, even the normies, right? I'm not going to say whether or not that will work, but I will boost his signal with my platform and keep my commentary to the bare bones essentials in the meantime. Excellent. So Honeycomb post, what up fam-a-lam? Sup fam, happy day. Then we see this. Seth Green and his wife. And this is Seth Green and his wife, Claire Grant. Seth is recognized for his work we all know on Austin Powers and his TV show, Robot Chicken. Where you want to know where he got that name, we'll find out here soon, and I'll show you. Claire Grant is just some actress I don't know. I've never seen any of her stuff. This was Kappy's first real drop. Y'all were talking about Macaulay Culkin and Matt Cohen. Cohen is so gross and creepy, surpassed by Yarvo. Yarvo deleted his Twitter, I think because he doesn't want the Aoki connection explored, but that is pure speculation. I captured most of these in tree view, so you could see these drops in a sort of question-response format. Kappy's drops are all labeled honeycomb. So, Neon Revolt puts it out there for us quite nicely. So, Anonymous said, we are here, start posting. Honeycomb says, yeah, I'm done with the 12-part captchas and bans. Those captchas can be a pain, man, I know. Can you drop some highly incriminating evidence? I have a log that will be released. It involves a lot of dates and people, so I am being very meticulous about it. Then the Anon says, not this shit again. So, and then he responds, or I can stop posting new leads and spend the next 4 hours finishing. I swear some of you people are so demanding without thinking. Always have a plan if you're going to drop. This cannot be overstated. Neon Revolt, obviously being an Anon, is just reiterating that. Still waiting. All right, guys, I will not be posting anything until it's done. If it upsets anyone, take it up with these guys. He's got a dead man switch in place too, which is exactly what I advise all other whistleblowers to have, just in case. Did he just tweet his kill switch? That's one part of it. He accidentally posted it in the general thread. He's moving it here. So yeah, so he posted his kill switch on Twitter. Then he was moving it to 8chan. And finally he gets into it. He had a buddy working with him who added the annotations in the brackets. So we see here. I'll blow it up maybe if it can get a little bigger. Here we go. Here's the timeline. This is very important. And Anon helped me organize it to make it easier for you to research. He provided annotations like this in the brackets to give you insight on where to look to confirm parts of my story. March 19, 2017, I went to a party at Seth Green and Claire Grant's Malibu house. Anon's asked, can we find this address? You can obviously see this. So the ones in green are the talking amongst each other on the Anons, right? I hitched a ride there with Tyler Shields and Anon Mulvoy 10. Look up everything about Tyler Shields in particular. The night ended with only Seth, myself, and Seth's brother-in-law, Bill Johnson. As we were about to leave, Seth pulled back a bookcase revealing a secret room. He then said, this is where we keep the children. There was another room with a lot of bunk beds, possibly for guests, but the top room in the house was decorated with kids-themed stuffed animals everywhere. Also, when we were leaving, I noticed a very bad smell. It smelled like something had died. Wanting to believe it was all a joke, I tried the secret room and children comment out of my mind. He tried to keep it out of his mind. However, this was not an option after the following conversation at Seth and Claire's house. On April 18, 2017, while eating dinner with Seth and Claire, Seth said, we need to talk about chicken, hence the name of his show, okay? Having researched pedophile rings, I suspected that chicken was code word for children. And then this Anon says, which blew my mind, can we confirm this lingo, because wouldn't this mean that his show really means robot children? During that conversation, everything hit me like a ton of bricks. He told me that they were into having sex with children. I asked him if they were involved in sacrifices and rituals. He said they weren't, but they rape kids. So maybe they were lying about that too. Who knows? So this is to Claire Grant. Hey, Claire Bear, are you around this afternoon? Want to pick up those crystals? I've got a bunch of errands to run, but I should be home in a few hours. Actually, Seth is here working from home for the day. Okay, awesome, blah, 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 blah. Now, keep in mind, Kappy has made these claims several times, very publicly now. If he was lying, he could really be destroyed in a lawsuit. Yes, keep that in mind. The fact that he keeps repeating this and keeps reinforcing this story lends credence to what he is saying. Absolutely. Seth sent me a group text between himself, Claire, and me sharing a link to Entertainment Weekly article. In that post is some of my artwork, with the implication that he got placed in Entertainment Weekly. The very first comment on the article was from the Illuminati Facebook page. Yes, the official Facebook of the Illuminati. I went to the Facebook page and all of the posts seemed tailored to my specific circumstances. The post that stood out the most was the one that said, "Join the Illuminati. You will get $250,000 a year, any car you want, and live anywhere in the world." There was another post that just said something to the effect of, "It doesn't matter how old you are or what your position is. You can make all of your dreams come true." The comments on the Entertainment Weekly article have since been scrubbed. Okay, so yep, we read that. So we'll go down here. Now we see Paris Jackson bonds with her godfather Macaulay Culkin. Paris Jackson is Michael Jackson's daughter, and this is Seth Green post. His looks like just a text message, right? eonline.com. Yeah, there you go. Saw that pic on Paris Instagram. Super rad. The whole Macaulay Culkin Paris Jackson thing is weird, especially given the ages. And remember, Culkin and Green were in that degenerate film together in 2003, which almost looks tame by 2018 standards. Party Monster. Check out that trailer. I'm not going to play it because it'll flag me. I've seen that movie. It is so strange. Cabal imagery all over the place in that. Just so you know, you can know how long this stuff has been going on. Absolutely. So, there was a party at Seth and Claire's, April 22nd, 2017. A man by the name of Dan Ferguson struck up a conversation with me, and he started asking me about my car. He was talking about how great the Teslas were. He asked what I drove, and I think I said Ferrari, being cheeky. Then he mentioned my Hyundai, my actual car, and was like, "All right, this is quite the coincidence." He also mentioned that he liked to spend entire weekends without his phone. I think he was indicating that we should ditch our phones for a conversation, but I played dumb. Later at the party, my fake front tooth fell out, and Bill Johnson said, "You know what they say about people's teeth falling out? It means they're about to die." So that was a death threat, albeit casual. Was it a joke? Didn't know. Didn't want to chance it, so I played along. I left that party feeling pretty shook up, but I did not want to make any waves, so I played along. All right, inbox update. Seth and Claire's 19th annual Nug Hunt. Hi guys, excited to see you tomorrow. Please come on time. This is a timed event. The eggs will be hidden before you arrive, so when you get there, please come directly inside the house until the hunt begins. And something to swim in if you want to get in the pool. Parking is limited. Text me if you have any questions. XO Claire. You have replied attending. Then we see here, this is so strange. This is the picture. Seth and Claire, Nug Hunt. Then we see the little girl with the white rabbit, creepy, and then Tally, stoned. Seth and Claire's 19th annual Nug Hunt, blah, 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 blah. Just confirming these emails is what's going on. I will say, it's good he's posting all this supporting evidence in the form of screenshots from his phone. Really bolsters his credibility. Absolutely. So we see here, at the April 22nd party, I connected with Paris Jackson, and she reached out to me afterwards. She invited me to party over Memorial Day weekend at her house in Topanga Canyon. Claire reached out a number of times to confirm I was going to the party and seemed very invested in me in going to the party, so I knew something was up. While at the party, a black man, a woman, and a male black child between the ages of 9 and 12 years old showed up and said they were there to meet with Seth. I told them that Seth was in Thailand. I went into another room and lost track of them. Also of note is that Matt Cohen, an associate of Seth and Kevin Smith, brought child's toys, Cabbage Patch Kids, as a housewarming gift to the party. I specifically remember Paris and Bailey, Claire's sister, making fun of the very weird housewarming gift. They had no idea, but I did. The man, the woman, and the child left the party after a while, and to be honest, I lost track of their movements. There were two older gentlemen that were their neighbors of Paris and were engaging with the man, woman, and child, and might be an avenue to explore. I ended up spending the night there, and the next morning I hung out for a bit. At one point, Paris and I were on the back porch talking, but I really wasn't saying much. I was in another world. My mind was racing. I was in over my head. I wanted to share, but I didn't want to put anyone in danger. So I just kept playing along. June to mid-August 2017. In the following weeks, I approached a few friends and told them the situation, but once they heard what I had to say, they wanted no part in getting involved, which is understandable. Over the course of the next few months, I began drinking quite heavily and started to spiral out of control. I felt trapped. I didn't want to approach the LAPD because they have a history of covering up these types of situations. I didn't want to approach the feds because I really didn't know what to make of Trump's dismissing Flynn so early in Trump's tenure, and I didn't know who was trustworthy. Also, I was extremely emotionally conflicted. I didn't want to hurt my friends, but the thought of complicity through silence was eating away at my soul. It was truly the worst anguish of my life. Seth and Claire were in Thailand, so I knew that gave me a bit of time. While by the time August rolled around and it was Claire's birthday, there was a shift in their demeanor towards me. Honestly, Neon Revolt says, this is pretty normal reaction to the Pizzagate related stuff. I've told you many times how I would involuntarily weep and shake from it. I have more than a few gray hairs as a result from the days when all that came spilling out in the WikiLeaks. And it's all good he didn't go to the LAPD. I'll trust you know enough by now what these symbols mean. Absolutely, and you can check that out there. Excuse me. There you go. We all know what those mean. Check it out. A triangle inside of a triangle. August 25th, 2017. On the week of Claire's birthday, there was a game night at Dane Cook's house that Seth and Claire attended. On that evening, I passed Claire a handwritten note that basically said I had set up a dead man switch and not to F with me. I needed some leverage, so I thought this was a good idea. Was it? I'm still here. Well, I'm still here, so it couldn't have been that bad. Relations grew a bit more fractured for sure, but I felt protected. I was trying for a while to meet up with them and chat, but they were very standoffish. I texted Claire saying I would like to meet up. This is October 4th. She said that she was in New York. I replied that I would be leaving town on the 14th or 15th. And here we go. These are the text messages right here. And right there. And right there. Just to validate everything. October 13th, 2017. This is when the situation really started to get crazy. Coincidentally, the night before I leave Los Angeles to go back to New Mexico, I was on the patio at the Thirsty Crow, a bar near my house, with my roommate Anthony. I noticed a man walk by looking at me, talking on his phone, paying very close attention. He walked away, and then about 10 minutes or so later, he came back. Still scoping me out, still on the phone. My spidey senses were off the charts, so I decided to follow him. I kept a decent distance, but he saw me following him. When he got back to his car, he pulled out a bulletproof jacket from the back seat and put it on. At this point, I went back to the bar. I went in and told my roommate Anthony that I wanted to leave. We headed on foot to the Black Cat, a restaurant/bar in Silver Lake. We went inside and were near the front entrance. There was a man in a Juventus jersey at the bus stop that wouldn't stop staring at me. I tried to ignore him, but he just stood there staring. I went back to the restaurant near the bathrooms and just stood there waiting. I was probably in there for 10 minutes. At this point, I started texting people I could possibly go stay with. Well, wouldn't you know it, the guy from the bus stop comes walking around the corner. I said, "Forza Juventus," to him and quickly took off to grab Anthony. We went across the street to the bar Stella. I tried to impress upon Anthony that I really wanted to get out of Silver Lake, but he didn't realize how much I wanted to leave, so I left by myself on foot down Santa Monica Boulevard. I arrived at the 7-Eleven on Santa Monica and Virgil, and there was a large group of LAPD officers in the parking lot. I asked them to arrest me because I thought I would be in a safer place being in jail. They declined and laughed at me, and at this point my phone was dead. I went across the street to the 7-Eleven to the Virgil, hoping I could charge my phone, hide out, and reach out to some people. I ended up running into Ariel Macaron, an acquaintance I hadn't seen in a while, and I told her the situation. She called me a lift, and I took a ride to my buddy Kyle Newman's house because I felt I needed to tell him right away about all the pedo stuff with Seth and Claire. My adrenaline was going, and I sure as crap didn't want to go home. Anyways, I got to Kyle's house and he wasn't home. I took a walk, came back when he and his wife were close. And went over there. He came out to talk to me for a bit. I told him to a quick rundown, and then he went back inside. He told his wife, who then proceeded to call the cops on me because she was frightened, which is very understandable. Officers Diaz and De Vera arrived and cuffed me, and we talked, and I basically told them the situation. They were actually really receptive and the best part of that awful night. I told them that it would probably be in their best interest of personal safety if they didn't take this issue to the higher-ups. They suggested taking me to a mental health facility to check myself in. I have gotten conflicting reports from the LAPD about where exactly I was taken. I wanted them to put me in jail instead, but they wouldn't do it, so I agreed to go to a mental health facility in Culver City. I spent the night there, and the people working there were like, "Why in the hell are you here? It's clear you're sound of mind." And I was like, "Yeah, pretty much." I left there the next morning and got texts and calls from Kyle and Tyler. I actually reached out to Tyler the night before, but he didn't want to intervene at all. I trusted Tyler. Big mistake. Anyways, Tyler called a couple of days later and told me that he had spoken to John Brennan about me. 5 eyes, 5 eyes, 5 eyes, priority get. Tyler said I had been under surveillance for quite some time and they were about to van me. And if I didn't talk about politics online, they were going to let me slide. Also, Tyler stressed that he was doing me a huge favor by intervening. Yes, this sounds weird since the threat should have been don't reveal the pedo stuff, but that's what it was. So I shut up for a while. Wow. Neon Revolt says they got John Brennan involved. Be careful who you trust. So yeah, so this is the text messages. Tyler Shields and Isaac Kappy. No bueno. 3 dudes lurking. Follow me. Popped on some bulletproof Jewish looking 6'2", 230th. Jesus. And some Hispanic dude, mid-30s, trailing. Wish me luck. Godspeed. Famalan. You got this. If I die in the night, do you know who's Mafia? Did you make it out alive? Yo, did you die? Yo, call me. Tyler Shields, you talked to him. Yeah, all good. Epic miscommunication. Haha. Now I can say I spent the night in an insane asylum. Genius. This is all just validating what he's telling us. B. Donald Trump. Know about child trafficking and sacrifice for 30 years or do nothing. Wow. Guys, this looks really bad. Don't know how Trump will recover. Update. I've been corrected. This is just Kappy having some fun with his drops. He did post this and confirmed it at the end of the Periscope broadcast, which is linked below. He also kept tweeting during all of this. Tweeted that picture. We've all seen it. Colbert and Podesta. We see some more tweets. Please follow this guy on Twitter. I started to a couple days ago, and it's pretty interesting. A lot of people that he brings on, people talking to him, are also victims of either being blackmailed or actually being the victims of satanic abuse rituals. He also made a Periscope broadcast, which I suggest you spend some time with. I already watched it because he not only verifies what Renegade, look into hashtag Renegade, was saying and asks him to come out, but he names some serious names. So yeah, this is the gentleman right here. Yeah, all I can say to what Kappy is doing is Godspeed, Famalam. Absolutely. So please check out hashtag Renegade. I've already gone over those posts. That's, I believe, the black fellow who's in his 70s who worked with Red Fox. He was definitely posting on 8chan. That was last week, sometime early last week. I've already gone over that. So definitely at Isaac Kappy, follow him because you'll get more intel, the intel that you've been looking for. I hope this guy survives. I hope nothing happens to him. But he also has a kill switch, which like he said, is leverage. So anyways, guys, if you found this informative and you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up like I asked you to do in the beginning so that this video gets pushed into another algorithm and then more people get to view it and then it can go viral and then we can spread Isaac Kappy's word and Neon Revolt's awesome website and his blogs. If you didn't know, I am on Twitter at True Reporting, and please, if you would care to donate to my Patreon, all donations go to merch that I mentioned earlier. I will pay for the shipping for all my Patreon members, and that should be about it for me. I may do one more podcast this evening. Also please click that blue bell to get notifications for when I do post, just in case that they start shadow banning me. I would really appreciate it. Anyways, guys, I will talk to you soon. Please take care of one another. Please love one another. And death to the cabal, right? We'll see you later. Bye.